Welcome back. Over the next several minutes, we're going to spend some time discussing the current opioid epidemic in Colorado. Dr. Chris Johnston, an emergency medicine doctor practicing at Centura Health St. Anthony's North Health Campus, shares his insight on this epidemic. He also shares what his healthcare organization is doing to address the problem. This is something we were saying you're very passionate about. It is a crisis, the opioid crisis going on right now. But talk about how this epidemic is affecting where we live, here in Colorado.
Yeah, so nationwide, overdose now is the leading cause of death for individuals under the age of 50. And unfortunately, the epidemic isn't sparing us here in Colorado. So between the years of 2000 and 2014, in Colorado, we've seen an almost 200% increase in opioid-related deaths. Now, the good news is recently, a lot of the numbers and statistics around opioid and the opioid epidemic are heading in the right direction, but the fight is far from over.
Yes, it sounds like it, but it's good to see something's going in the right direction,
yes,
which is wonderful. Now, talk a little bit about what Centura is doing to actually fight back on this as well.
Yeah, so Centura, and this is starting in our emergency departments and is actually now moving into some of the inpatient realm and the inpatient care, but it's based on 4 pillars. So the first pillar is we're looking to decrease the overall amount of opioids that we're using in treating mostly acute pain, non-cancer pain. With that is the second pillar, so that ties into the first in that we're increasing the number of ALTO, and we call alternative to opiates. These are medicines, treatment modalities, some of which are just as successful in treating pain as opiates. The third, some of our emergency departments now are offering medical assisted therapy. So these are medicines like buprenorphine that help curb the cravings of addiction, opioid use disorder, and in concert and support with behavioral health partners that we have in the community, we get them referred and with that can help fight addiction.
Okay.
And then the fourth is our harm reduction strategy. So for example, patients that are at high risk for opioid overdose, we give them Narcan kits so that them or their family can, intervene and save a life in the unfortunate event of an opioid overdose.
So is that something that we as Coloradans can do to help in terms of just being educated on this kind of thing?
Yeah, I think it's that. There's plenty of access to Narcan kits if you want to have one in your glove box or at home. But I think the most important thing that Coloradans can do is really help fight the stigma around opioid use disorder and opioid addiction. It's important to understand that addiction is not a moral failure. It's organ failure of the brain. And in the same way that we approach any organ when it fails, we need to do the same with addiction. And so I think just approaching and understanding and kind of lifting the label off of addiction is the biggest thing we can do here locally.
Well, St. Anthony's North is also involved in our Car Care Fair on October 12th. And talk a little bit about what they're doing at the event this year.
Yeah, so October 12th in the morning out at the Denver Premium Outlets up in Thornton, we're partnering with the Thornton Fire Department, providing free car seat checks to all those that want to come in. So yeah, come on out and we'll check out your car seat, make sure you're using it properly and restraining your kids in the appropriate way.
A lot of times those first-time parents, I remember thinking, do I have this in the right way? Oh my gosh, and I didn't. And I remember thinking I was sure that I had, but it's always good to have people who are there to help you out and let you know everything's going on. Topics that we're all trying to do in our community to make sure we're all okay, right?
Yep.
And stay safe.
No, interestingly enough.
Thank you so much, Dr. Johnson. We appreciate it. All right, to learn more about the support St. Anthony's is providing through the Denver 7 Car Care Fair, visit thedenverchannel.com. Search Car Care Fair for all the details. Take a break and attend the fair on October 12th to receive your free car seat safety check. St. Anthony North Health Campus paid for today's segment.